Thank you, Harry, for that intro sketchbook, original composition by you and your band, and great playing again from your band. And I just want to welcome everybody to the Hugs Not Drugs podcast. I have a special guest today, a good friend of mine for years. I've watched him grow in recovery. Oh, by the way, this is John Barleycorn. Uh, I'm in the studio with Dr. Uggs and Hugs Not Drugs. Say hello, Dr. Uggs. Hello. Boy, this is going to be nasty, isn't it? I know the Joe the artist. What a man, huh? He, he is a man and a good damn artist, too. Uh, Yes, that's right. Barleycorn here. I just want to mention Hugs Not Drugs, who sounds vaguely familiar to me. Say something, Hugs Not Drugs. Vaguely familiar. It's the same voice. What are you talking about? It's like we're identical twins. Okay. All right. Back to you, Barleycorn. Joe,
Hello.
how you doing, brother?
I'm all right. Hanging in there.
You look great. You look
Ah,
great, and I I've always wanted you to be on this podcast since I've been trying to learn about it for the last couple of months because you have been the artist for John Forlenza-Bailey's The Road to Wellness Workbook, and also the a book that's coming up probably when this is pre-taped, so that book should be out in on Amazon and wherever you want to buy a book, I guess. Uh, the transformation of Dr. Uggs. You did the graphics, you were the illustrator for both of those books, and I couldn't have been happier with the results of that. Your creativity and your insights are amazing to me, and you've helped me incredibly with trying to get my ideas into fruition, and I thank you for that. So
well,
welcome to the Hugs Not Drugs podcast, and the floor is yours. What would you like to talk about? Just talk about anything that you want about yourself and your art and who you are and where you're going and how you got
okay.
there, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Um, well, that's all. I started drawing when I was probably 2 years old, maybe younger. And I think I just started drawing on any like unmarked surface, just like a refrigerator was a clean canvas for me. I started drawing on that, and my mom sat me down with a some pens and some papers, things like that, and I just really hadn't stopped for a lot of. Well, we'll get into that when I was less productive. Yeah, I growing up, my just being kind of more obsessed with drawing. My schoolwork had suffered throughout the years. I was a good student on and off, but I even helped start and write some classes in high school with for cartooning and animation. Um, uh, it was had a hard time with my parents' divorce. Well, maybe not the divorce, but maybe more just moving. I thought I was kind of set for where I was, and then that kind of messed me up for a bit. So it slowed down, but I kind of, kind of messed up my last couple of high school years, but made up for it much more in community college, and then I got into Pratt Institute um, on my portfolio alone, and a lot of financial aid. So
Was that in New York City, sir?
yeah, New York, Brooklyn, New York, Brooklyn, New York. Yep. So um, yeah, I did pretty well there, and uh, drinking was not really a part of high school or even just the first few years of college. I think I had a few beers here and there. It didn't really make I didn't really see what the big deal of it was, you know. Um, and then I think like one time it was during one of the art gallery shows in college in art school. They often serve wine at those things, so I don't even know. I might have been just 20, 21 around me. No, maybe not. I can't remember exactly when it was, but started the some wine and the art started to, and the photo. I guess I was looking at photographs at the time, and I started enjoying them more with a couple of sips of wine. And my boss, because I worked in the photo lab, it was her show, and she says, "Oh, just have a few more; it gets better." Um, Meaning her photos, not the wine necessarily. So yeah, there was a handful of times where I did get a bit tipsy at art school, and then kind of moved on from there. I got my first job in children's book publishing after that, and well, I'd go out after work a couple days a week. I felt I earned it, and maybe drinking was part of the artist lifestyle, so maybe I had affected that as a part of who I was. Um, and worked good for years. I had a really good work ethic. Um, you know, um, even even some of the hangovers I had, they were occasionally back then. um, yeah, I was even able to like work through those. So eventually, the publishing house had a merger, and I moved on to two different things. I freelance Photoshop and art correction, all kinds of different things. I had learned a bunch of new skills, kind of like on my own from there, and uh, went into package design for a little bit, just as a illustrator type and graphic designer, and also became one of the part of those .com companies that the online content of the early 2000 late 90s, early 2000s. So um, that was a trip. After, yeah, I worked at package design for like a year and a half or something, and then I went full time into this endeavor. Um, Eventually, the bust happened. We ran out of money and like struggled to get this one show, and we eventually did. We moved. We got a show called "I Bet You Will" it was the first outside show from the internet to TV, and it happened to be on MTV. So that was a first, and yeah. Um,
Can I ask you, how old were you when all this happened?
oh, 20. Oh yeah, 2000. Oh, so I was just probably just about turning 30.
Yeah,
Um,
you had been
yeah.
in the business for 10 years and been very successful in learning your craft. And is it safe to say that you didn't have a substance abuse problem at this point?
It was just an occasional,
Yeah, it
a
wasn't a
few
big
times. Yeah,
deal. Okay.
yeah, it was not a big deal.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I just want some clarity on the
Sure.
timelines of when
Oh yeah,
you got
yeah,
hijacked in your brain.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so yeah, so 2002. That was a big year, but and yeah, with not handling success all that well, I think I was working a lot of hours, and in addition to the drinking, I did pick up a bit of a cocaine habit for the MTV years while I was there. It was um, yeah, late nights in the office, and then and even that, I probably went through like a half a gram a night, 4 nights a week, and then it would take the weekends and the beginning of the week off for that. Um, so yeah, that was a grueling schedule. sometimes would go for like a week without any substance or drinking, and then just party pretty hard some of those times. So it was, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, your behavior sounds addictive though. You were addicted to your work. You were addicted to your craft. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
that
I would
played
say,
a
yeah.
number, and then that introduced you to a double whammy effect. I don't think
Mhm.
your addiction to work was that unmanageable though at this time, right? Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. Yeah, yeah. I was able to keep up with the schedule. It may have been easier without the substance. Um, but I probably definitely needed to take the edge off in some way. I don't, probably that was the easiest way to do it. Um,
Maybe a bubble bath, with something a little less
well,
deadly
yeah.
than cocaine. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
No,
stop.
that's
I'm gonna
fine.
stop. I'll stop.
That's fine. Yep, yep. So yeah, by 2003, the show was canceled after 80, like 84 episodes in a
Oh,
single year.
oh
Um,
my gosh.
they were on daily. Yeah, they were on daily. It wasn't what the show was supposed to be. It was supposed to be one night a week, and then some genius over there decided it was going to be daily. So after that, the work just kind of everything stopped, and that kind of like threw me into a panic. Um, and I was the work stopped, the drinking and drugs also stopped, as I had no money to work with them, and kind of threw my body into a panic. So heart palpitations. I went to the emergency room once, and I wasn't even on anything for so eventually, going to work every pretty much most times out of the week, maybe drinking and some downtime. That's whatever I could afford with some occasional freelance work and stuff. So it was like almost like another year of no work, um, and then 2004, we were working on something for a while, and that eventually became a movie called Super Size Me, and that was a pretty big success.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
remember that movie. It was a
yeah,
great success, huh?
yeah, yep.
And you did
And
all the illustrations for that?
there there was some illustration. It was the animation, really. I did the Super Size Me logo and then the animation inside there. I directed it, designed the characters, but I did farm it out to a company in Bulgaria uh, that did the in betweens and pencils and stuff like that. It was very close to my own style, which I was pretty happy about. And then there were a couple of props I made that were in there too. Um, but yeah, yeah, we were riding pretty high. I was getting my back pay back. Um, uh, so yeah, I had money for like 2004, 2005. I mean, it wasn't it was a lot to me, but to maybe somebody that had been working professionally, it wasn't a huge amount. Um, so yeah, eventually, that ran out too because I didn't really, again, I wasn't handling that success. I didn't learn any lessons from the first time around, let's just
So
say.
at this point in time in 2005, which is 20 years ago,
Mhm.
can we safely say that you were in trouble?
Yeah. Um, it was getting there. Yeah. It definitely could have stopped then. Yeah.
But you didn't
Um,
understand it because of your denial.
yeah, I had cut back quite a bit. But I had also met someone that really wanted to be a part of my life, and she kind of took me back down a whole, you know,
Oh,
kind
it
of
was
got me
her
all back
fault.
into
I
it.
got it now. It was
No,
her
no,
fault. I got it. Okay. No, of course it
it
wasn't.
wasn't her fault. I probably went along willingly. You know,
Yeah.
that was had a new drinking and drugging partner for.
Joe, let me help you. Let me help you with this clarity here. You were going down
Mhm,
in middle stages at this point.
mhm,
Relationships were falling apart or were not healthy ones. See, you were spiraling down.
mhm.
So when you spiral down, you go up a little bit,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
which increases your denial. And and then you go down even further than when you spiraled up, right? You
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
So I'm not telling you anything you don't know, correct?
Okay.
Okay.
No, that
Okay.
that's you're right. You're
The
right.
truth will set you free, my friend. You are spiraling down, and
Clearly,
I can't wait till you start spiraling and circling the
yeah.
drain. I love these stories.
Okay. All right. Oh man. Oh, man. So yeah, yep. With seeing her under a year, I was like running out of money, and I had like a lot invested in the stock market at the time, and she decided that she wanted to buy a place. We used that money instead of me paying taxes on it. um, uh, bought the bought the real estate. Yeah, bought the an apartment in Brooklyn. Uh, my drinking continued to get worse. We bought a dog. I was, you know, constantly trying to look for work. The drinking became pretty much a daily thing, on and off. But that, the little dog did kind of it helped me because that I was responsible for that little dog's life. Even if I didn't care that much about my own, I wanted out of kind of everything at the time. But so yeah, thank God for that little sobriety dog.
What was that sobriety's dog's name?
Smudgy.
Smudgy. All
Smudgy the
right.
bear. Yeah. He was a little white and brown rat terrier. He was quite the personality.
Who loved you when you could not love yourself? I love it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Is
So
that look at you. Yeah, your face is lighting up when we talk about Smudgy. Can you talk a little bit more about Smudgy?
uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, we went on long walks together, walks where I wasn't drinking. Oh, and actually this will probably come up. This will change, it will change. Uh so yeah, he was always kind of always I did all the cooking for us. So he was always by my side. I always had food and this yeah, he was just it was just like another thing to kind of look out for, where to step in the kitchen and things like that. And um right, we actually did have some pretty fun dinner parties there. They weren't, it wasn't all bad times. It was and I could get it together for having guests over. It was great. And then we'd be up all night too. And God forbids we do this on a Tuesday. I'd be able to have to
Party would last till Friday?
party would last. Yeah, well, yeah, and then and I would you know, somehow it did manage. Some of these managed to get into days where I did have a job, and it would be like the day before we were starting one. I don't know why it worked out that way sometimes, but um, so some of that work eventually dried up because the company I was with, I went back to the package design place. What happened, and it was okay money, but they didn't need me every day, so there was some idle time, certainly. And sometimes drinks after work were part of that culture too. um Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, that the package design was mostly print, and it was videos and albums, and most of that stuff was heading towards a completely different media. So I wasn't designing DVD or VHS boxes anymore. This would have been 2008 to 10, maybe started getting back into that. Yeah, 7, 8, yeah, yeah.
You're in your 30s, rounding 40 now?
Yeah, yeah.
40?
Yeah, getting closer to 40. Yep. Um, so right, just it the yeah, the day drinking was getting worse when I wasn't working, and then um so she came home. I was like passed out on the couch, drunk. I think dinner was maybe half made, and kicked me out of the house. So I went to stay with a friend for a little bit, and yeah, that's when I tried to get into AA at the time. I knew I had one friend who had been sober about he had been sober about 10 years at the time. My buddy and he had the ability to make it look cool. He yeah, he was with us through like the I Bet You Will and Supersize Me years. He was there for a little bit. I was actually teaching him graphic design at the time. So and then he was able to teach me a few things about sobriety. He gave me my first little big book. It was a little red vest size copy. Um, and I had to answer a bunch of questions for him, and he says, "Well, maybe before you meet up with me on Sunday, maybe you better get to a meeting before that." So it was Wednesday, and I found a meeting that was Thursday night. I went there, and I didn't know that it was a bit of an eye opener because these fairly normal people were greeting me at the door. This one woman who was I think she was a school teacher. Um, she saw me looking confused and out of place, and I said, well, "I'm looking for and I whispered AA meeting, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, you're in the right place here." And everyone was happy, having a good time, and I sat through the meeting. Um, and at one point became just like really surprised as to what was being discussed. The guy was talking about how wildly out of control his life was, and just um, and crazy, and the amount of danger that he was in. Um, so uh, I was just in shock that they were able to talk about this so casually and with humor. so, um, and so one guy had told me that he said you're going to need to find your meetings. He says I may not come. This is kind of a bit of an older crowd. Maybe you'd want to find some younger people that you might get along with. And so I also took my friend's advice to just go around the city and Brooklyn and go to as many different meetings as possible until you found ones you liked. And I was good for a few weeks. And it didn't yeah, it didn't last too long. I think I just needed a bit more of a change. I was still um, these long walks I like to go on, and I didn't have the dog with me at this time. So the long walks were my meditation, and drinking started to get into those as well. And go out for a long walk, stop at the package store with like a carton of wine that would fit in my jacket, like that. And you know, that was the walks were not as relaxing as they could have been. They weren't as I pretty much ruined them with alcohol. And it's I started that wasn't working. And a friend I was staying with, started telling me I could see myself turning into all these um the yets. Like I had yet to do all these things yet. And I could see myself turning into the stereotypical alcoholic that I had in my head about that. The point where like eating was getting in the way of my drinking. And so I'd like, well, I gotta have something, and I'd just have like one of those canned shakes at the time, and I'd have like a small bottle of vodka with that, and that was my sustenance. And it just kept getting worse and worse. I was, my throat started, my esophagus started hurting, and things like that, and um, yeah, it was getting pretty bad. And um, do you want to say something?
Well, I'm fascinated by this, but I'm also looking at the clock too.
Okay.
And how long did this go on, and what the heck happened that jolted you to a reality of
Well,
I'm destroying myself and I want to live?
well, I think it was on and off for like a year and a half, the spiraling, and then sometimes breaks, and the breaks started getting shorter and shorter, and the drinking started getting more and more consistent. And um, eventually I had to, go home. I was really lucky. I had a family that still cared about me and wanted to see me sober. And my sister yelling and crying at me to get my shit together,
Is that when
kind
you
of like
came to Connecticut?
that's when I came to Connecticut. Kind of like shook me into existence. And I didn't. I started going to meetings every day that I could. I mean, I know I really wanted to get to meetings because there was one time when I'd taken a break from meetings and I walked around like half of Brooklyn looking for meetings, but I was not. My right had one meeting was canceled. I went to a meeting that was in Spanish accidentally, and then one meeting that just wasn't there anymore. It was on a different day, and I just spent like a walk around Brooklyn, and it started raining, and I got back, and I'm like, I really need this, but and my friend had told me who I was staying with. He says, "This is well, I know you're determined about it." And I don't remember all the details, but it was decided. Oh, right, right. Now I remember. I had stopped drinking for a few days and had a big panic attack and got into the emergency room. Um, and I detoxed for a couple days, and I didn't get my own room. I got my own room like for a couple of hours, which I had a couple of friends come visit me, and then my oh, I did leave a bunch of stuff out. Yeah, one of my first sponsor was actually a guy 20 years older than me. We actually shared a birthday, and he picked me up and brought me back to my friend's house. But he said, he bought me a hamburger and a milkshake, and we just talked about being sober and what it was going to be like going forward. And he says, I'm going to prescribe to you as many milkshakes as you want over alcohol. You're going to.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, I did get back home. I started going to meetings every day, and then it was late August, September, and into October is where I slipped up. I had a bit of a relapse. Things were going pretty well, and then I just unthinkingly took a sip of cooking wine as I was cooking some fish and took that, and then what seemed like an eternity, I was drinking again for only it was only like 2 weeks until it just kind of I figured out I wasn't, and my mindset just kind of went back from like what is the next right thing to do to how am I going to live with this hiding hiding my drinking. And then just, being threatened with homelessness. I just had to get back into that again. I went to like an outpatient center, feral treatment center in New Britain. I took the bus there 3 days a week. It was 4 hours, and I was going to meetings on the days I wasn't going to those. So, and I even went to those outpatient things drunk a few times. I don't know who noticed. I know some people, they must have noticed.
Oh, please. Oh, please. These people are professional.
Yeah. Yeah, but when I told him, I mean, you must have noticed, he seemed a little surprised. My clinician seemed a little surprised. So I'm like, oh, but okay, fine. But anyway, I probably, like I said, this span of 2 weeks I was relapsed for seemed like much, much longer. So, um, anyway, my sobriety date is October 15th, which is coming up. I'll have 12 years. Um, and and I really just started to get it. I just started getting everything that they said, and I start sharing more at meetings, doing service. And I got to say, service is just one thing that was a big savior. It was getting a sponsor, working the steps, but the service was the first and most simple thing that had tangible results right away. I got because I wasn't just living for myself in that way. I was helping others. I was helping meetings get along. And I can't recommend service, even if it's just getting there early, making coffee, opening up, arranging changes. It's all helps, and the group is grateful for it. You know. So yes, if you're in early recovery, please do service, and then the service got more and more bigger responsibilities.
Tell us about the convention that you
Oh, yeah,
taught.
yeah. One great thing about the convention is I did start off with a small bit of service, um, and then uh, there is the entertainment uh, part of these, and I didn't think I could do it, but I became the chair of the entertainment committee for the convention, and that was scheduling and organizing the DJ, the acts, the play, and things of that nature. And something, after working in the entertainment industry for kind of a longer time, I did things for the convention that I didn't even dream of. Like I wrote and directed a play for the convention.
I love that
It
play.
wasn't something I think
I
isn't
love
something I
that play.
thought I was capable of. Yeah, we did it we did that play 2 years in a row because the first one was poorly attended because we were just trying to get the convention back up and running again, kind of get it back to its glory days. And then, so second time we ran the play, it actually was glorious. It was, and then I was entertainment chair after that again, and I directed a bunch of skits, and that was fabulous too. Just and outside of service, I was I was reteaching myself art again. Uh, in my last days of drinking, I was just going down. I was just pretty much drawing, and they were like cramped, ugly, sweaty drawings of unpleasant things. Um, and it worked out in such a way where the freelance was just trickling in. And some of it, well, this one requires watercolor, or this one requires pastel, and then this one requires painting. So these weren't medias I hadn't touched even like before I even started drinking back then. I hadn't probably touched some of these materials since art school. So I relearned all of that too in sobriety. So that was a part of my recovery as well. It wasn't my higher power because I had learned that all that can be taken away. I had to get something that was greater than myself. And even if the higher power was imaginary, a great bit of advice you had given me early on that you could still rely on it and it will still work. And it did. um, so yeah. God, my life became, yeah, during the conventions, my life had became so much bigger. It was so much wider. I wasn't living small anymore. And eventually those lessons I learned and skill set I learned in the program gave me a much higher emotional intelligence that I was able to just deal with some things a lot better in life. The problems won't stop coming, and life takes, I've always take a chunk out of your ass, and you got to grow that ass back. So constant growth in the program is
We're
is
never going to see that on a bumper sticker, Joe.
okay. That's not something that we're gonna. Okay, all right. We're
Grow
not
your
gonna
ass or go.
okay. So, um, anyway, yep, and yeah,
Can I just, because I would just
sure.
want to wrap this up in a few.
Okay.
Uh, you're sensational, by the way. And you look so, when you talk about this, uh, I just see somebody very, very intelligent, very, very, uh, and very, very knowing of themselves, which is the biggest takeaway, I think, in recovery is when we know ourselves, we
Hmm.
love ourselves, and so that we can love others. And I've watched you grow, and it's been an uh, immense gratification to see, and an inspiration to see you come back as an artist as you have. You've just fulfilled a trilogy of the Helmet Wars 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to show that to my sons that'll appreciate. I appreciate the art, but it's not my cup of tea. We were talking about that.
Oh, sure.
I don't get it and don't love it like a younger person will. And
Hmm.
I've got some other people that are going to be very, very interested in it, I know. But I'm kind of limited in my artistic points of view.
Well,
That's why
I'm asking a lot of the reader in those. It's silent and there's no main character. So,
you're making us work, is what you're
okay,
doing.
yeah, yeah. I want you to slow down and get the clues going from panel to panel to see the story
No, I
unfolds.
think it's brilliant,
Yeah.
though. I really do
Oh,
think it's
thank you.
brilliant the way you're a brilliant artist.
Oh, thank you.
But I want to get, what is your life like now? And what
Oh,
is your takeaway from this this sharing today?
well, I had to say the sharing helped. Like I said, I've been working all weekend, and this is a really nice release to be able to tell this. Um, like I said, my life is full. I mean, I've been working in a 9 to 5 job for the past 6 years now, and doing freelance. So it's like that sort of thing is back. I can do both, and hopefully it's just going to be the freelance from after that. I've already proven to myself I
Mm.
can do the grind, but so just for me to be calling more of my own shots is going to be it's going to be much better. It might be more challenging, but yeah, I'm certainly ready for it if I get to do what I love,
Also, you're going to get your wheels back, I hear.
Yeah, yep.
You're going to get your driver's license back. There was a mess in New York, and it was a lot of red tape, and you're uncovering that.
Yeah. Mess in because it was an when I was living in New York, it was an out of state New Mexico DWI. So there was not all the paperwork made it everywhere that it needed to go. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think we did want to just focus on the art part of that. And it was, but yeah, the wheels are going to help because with these, um, with these comic books and the tabletop RPGs I'm doing, we're going to have to, the people I've partnered with on this, we're going to have to start going to conventions and promoting these things. So
Absolutely.
being able to carry around a load of books, I just can't, you know, put them in a backpack and take them on the bus. It's not
No,
like,
that's not going to work.
no. Yeah, yeah, right. Mm.
What is your takeaway from this? Oh, you told me already, but
Okay,
basically it's that it's a good release, isn't it?
it is a good release. Yeah, yeah, and I want to thank you for getting me back into semi-regular meetings. After COVID, uh, I wasn't well attended, and work and life got in the way afterwards, and I just didn't go to very many meetings. But the one thing is I am an example for some people. I recently heard from a friend I hadn't heard in from 6 years, and he's been sober. He's been sober, and he was a mess when I last left him. And he said I was his sponsor. His family had given me a call. Like, what can we save him? Can we save him? I'm like, it's got to be up to him. I'll do what I can. And I can't take credit for that, but I can be just one more example in someone's life, and I have been that. And even friends who weren't necessarily alcoholics, I've certainly been a good influence on them as well. They've kind of, it's
Well, yeah,
it's a
you've
good
been an
place to be.
example for me, I'll tell you that. When I used to see you taking those long walks around my office in a town that shall be nameless. You were an inspiration because I knew that you were doing the right thing and you were getting your mind back, and you were not going to use no matter what, and that's an inspiration to me.
No, thank you, Jim.
Well, tell them something else. You know, you're an inspiration, everybody, Barleycorn, because they look at you and they say, if that son of a bitch can stay sober, anybody can. All right, that's enough out of you, Dr. Uggs. Joe, I want to thank you
Thank you.
for this wonderful talk, sharing your life with us,
Oh,
and
thanks.
I just know that there's a lot of good things happening in your life.
Oh, yeah, that is. It really, really is.
More is going to get revealed later, and keep on
Mm-hmm.
trudging the happy road to destiny. I hope I'll be around there for you too.
Thanks.
Anytime you want to go to a meeting, you just call me. I don't give a
All
shit
right.
when it is.
All right, man. All right. All right. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate this opportunity. It's
Really
been a long
appreciate
time since I told my story. It's,
we appreciate you too. I'm looking at my phone, and I hope I've got a guy, one of my sponsees, calling me at the wrong time here, because I ain't gonna
oh,
pick up for this until
mhm.
I get done with you. So I love you, brother,
Love you
and
too.
thank you so much for doing this.
No, you're welcome.
Okay, you have a
All
good
right.
day. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
You too. Are we all? Are we?
We're out. I
There's
just
no
put
hot
I
mic.
put the recording on 43 minutes. Mother of pearl. I
Oh,
may have to wait. I may have to wait. They may not be able to. I may not be able to do it on Monday. I'll get it all edited, but I won't put it in the box for consumption until uh, uh, later, because of
okay.
I can't unload them all at the same time, because I already got four in the box already. So
Okay.
this was supposed to, if we would have done it in a half an hour, but you were speaking your truth so well, I couldn't stop that. And
Oh, really?
even though I did abbreviate it, I'm sorry, but
All right. Sorry.
you did good, man.
Oh, thanks. Um,
Michael, I've got him gagged and tied down. You can talk now,
Oh,
Michael.
good. Thank you for that. That was great. I really got a
oh, well,
lot
thank
out of
you.
it. I had the same drug of choice as you, so
Mm.
good work, brother. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to put the ball gag in his mouth now, so he doesn't.
I didn't talk anymore.
He did terrific.
For
He
me,
did.
you have no idea how hard that was.
It's like I looked over, occasionally tears were coming out of his eyes. He said,
Cool.
I want to say something. I'm important. All right.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was great.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
Cool.
Are we done or?
yeah. So you want to talk some more, but I'm gonna just get back to work here.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna do some more work on this. I'm gonna do a commercial. I'm gonna
Right.
do an outro for my son and stuff like that. And then I'm gonna call Jesse. Jesse just called me. You know Jesse,
Okay.
right? Jesse Gay.
Do I?
He's got 4 kids. Yeah, I think you know him, but maybe you don't. I don't know. He's
What's
got
the
about
Saturday
7 years.
morning?
He got sober in New York. He has a dog story too. A new, oh my God, a new took care of him. This
Mhm.
little Jack Russell took care of his ass when he was
That's right.
a
They
street
probably
dog.
look very similar, actually.
Yeah, very just
Those
roaming the
terriers are
streets
good
of
recovery dogs, man.
yeah, man. There's dogs. They love us no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, out here. Yeah, actually out when I got to my sister had a golden retriever that actually probably a big part of my sobriety as well. She's since moved on, and there's another dog here now.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So, wow. All right. Yeah, I wish. Okay.
You wish
Maybe,
what?
no, I wish. No, there's so much I left out. I mean, probably would like to replace some of the stuff I put, but we'll see.
Well,
Now I'll sure you get a good solid half hour out of that, but
no,
out of that.
I think what we got is terrific, and
No.
I hope people will view it, and because they'll get something out of it. That's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it's never going to be perfect, brother. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
progress. Look who's doing the podcast. Look who's hosting the podcast, for God's sake.
Oh wow. Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a great night. I thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, man. All right.
All right. Very good, very good. We're taking a break here. We're going to do the commercial. We need to do the commercial regarding our sponsor, John Forlenza-Bailey's book, The Road to Wellness Workbook. Also, The Transformation of Dr. Uggs, which stars me, Dr. Uggs. Not really, but there is a transformation of me, Dr. Uggs, turning into Hugs Not Drugs, a nickname for barleycorn, basically. Let me tell you about the Road to Wellness Workbook. This workbook is designed to provide education, emotional support, and inspiration to persons suffering from addiction. It offers step-by-step lessons to people striving to turn their lives around regarding abstinence, relapse prevention, family dynamics, and self-assessment to continue to discover day-to-day recovery. Recovery's up to you. Mentors help. Journals help. You must exchange and surrender destructive behaviors for constructive ways of handling day-to-day stressors or triggers of life. No one deserves to continue to suffer from active addiction. Get better, do the work. So I hope everybody has a good evening. Hope you enjoyed the show. I thought it was very good. Hey, Dr. Ugg, this is Hugs Not Drugs. You actually sound healthy. I'm trying to set people up. Okay, now you got me again, Huggy. John Barleycorn here. I just want to thank Joe the artist again for a wonderful show, and very honest, very open to new ideas, and very willing. Those are the principles of the program, and he certainly exercises them. So thank you, Joe the artist. Also, we're going to end our show right now with an outro by the song Sketchbook by Harry Harry and the band. So go for it, Harry. And thanks for listening, everybody. Peace and love, and don't pick up no matter what. If you got a good reason, call me, let me know, and he'll drink with you. No, he won't. No, he won't, Dr. Uggs. We'll talk it out so we don't have to drink it down. Have a good day. God bless.